What's tea, y'all? I know some of you are out there right now having a hard time, having problems in your relationships, having trouble with life. Or maybe you're on social media swiping and swiping, thinking, why can't that be me? Why can't I do that? Well, I'm here to let you know that you can. This is Create Your Own Story with Terrell Garnett, where we not only help you create your own story, but we let you tell yours too. Let's get into it, y'all. But let's get into this. Talked about a little bit about red flags and green flags, and I wanted to elaborate more on this. And I felt like the best way to do so is to dictate 6 of the top red flags and 6 of the top green flags. Because green flags we don't really talk about. So I want to get into the green flags last, but I want to talk about the top 6 red flags first. And these are, I'm a life coach, so these are stuff that I researched, went over, and did all this stuff, and really put together for y'all. So, number 1 red flag, y'all. The number 1 red flag is they want to change you. And these red flags, they're not in any typical order. I'm just saying this is the first one I'm giving you. But the first red flag is that they want to change you. So if you've only been dating for a short amount of time, 6 months or less, maybe even 7 months or less, not even a full year, and your significant other is already telling you that they don't really care about you, they don't really care for your lifelong friends, they hate them, that is a huge red flag. If they've been encouraging you already to move on from those friends, then that is something that you need to take account for and realize that they may not be doing this to help you. This is in fact a red flag. If they're encouraging you to move out of wherever you're living at or move away, stop hanging with those friends, it's a red flag. If they're also saying that, they don't really like your hair this way, some of the clothes that you wear, trying to watch your every move, or even the biggest one right now, when you tell them your dreams and goals, do they laugh at them? Y'all, those are some red flags. Their habits are questionable. Do they drink too much? Do they go out too much? Do they not invite you places when they go out? Do they change into a different person when they're drunk? Have they ever scared you? Are they forceful, too forceful, sexually? Do they do drugs? If any of their habits are questionable to you, that's grounds for breaking up. That is a red flag. And I said this particular red flag is grounds for breaking up because stuff like this can lead to abuse. And it may not be so much even on the physical level, like we were talking about earlier, physical and not physical, but forms of abuse. And if they are drinking too much and they are scaring you, then it could lead to a lot more. The third red flag, y'all, is they're abusive. And I know this is going to sound like I'm treating y'all like y'all kids, but unless it's physical self-defense, y'all, there's never a good reason to hit someone else. I know that's so elementary, but it's true. It doesn't matter if you cheated, lied, or deceived them in any type of way. Abuse is wrong. This is the biggest and most obvious red flag. If your significant other is being sexually coercive, trying to make it up to you with gifts, kind words, that doesn't mean that you're not being abused. That's how an abuser keeps the abuse around. And it's so true. And I'm so some of you are probably out here that are listening to this and you guys have been in an abusive relationship. And you guys can contest to this, that they're going to apologize, say that they'll never do it again. They may bring you flowers. They may bring you a gift. They may, do things to show that they're sorry. Then they do the same pattern again. So the first time that they abused you, that is time to walk away, y'all. The fourth red flag, y'all. You're a secret. Are you a secret in your relationship? Are you always with your significant other, but they refuse to introduce you to any of their friends and family? Or, on top of that, if let's say they do introduce you, they refer to you as a friend. Or even if you just overhear them when they're on the phone and they be like, oh, who you with? Oh, like, oh, I'm just with my friend. That is a red flag, y'all. And have you talked to them about it? And if you've talked to them about it and they've done nothing to change the matter, that's a red flag, y'all. This is a form of being used. So the question is, are you okay with being used now? Do you want to be treated like a dirty secret? Less than a human being? I don't think anybody does. And then you have to think, well, if he's treating me like a secret, how many other secrets does he have or she have? And I'm not even talking about secrets as in are they hiding anything else, but are they hiding anybody else? Get into it, y'all. So the fifth red flag is you feel worse about yourself in the relationship. And I kind of dictated this earlier when I was talking about Ray J and Princess Love, and Princess said that she felt happier when she wasn't with Ray J. Is your significant other planning out all of the dates? Or are you planning out all of the dates? Do you go out of your way to make time for them and they always have something else going on and do not prioritize you or your needs? Yeah, you already guessed it. This is a red flag. Do you feel alone in your relationship? Do you feel like you're in a relationship just by yourself? If you feel sad when you think about the relationship, or you're wondering why it's not going the way you would like, then that's a sign, y'all, that it's maybe time to move on. You deserve someone who is willing to move mountains, like Usher, baby, to make you feel special and to make time for you. And that's all I got to say about that red flag. And then the sixth and final red flag. This is a good one, though, because I feel like people talk about this all the time, but they still continue on with the relationship. But does your family approve of the relationship? If your family doesn't approve of the relationship, then maybe it's a red flag. Sometimes family members can see when someone else is wrong for you before you even know yourself. And I know that sometimes you stay in a relationship when you're not happy because you just don't want to hear somebody say, I told you so. Sometimes family members can be wrong as well. We ain't going to say that they're not always wrong, because sometimes they can be. But it's always worth listening with an open ear and heart to see what they have to say. Your immediate family members, for the most part, I say for the most part because, but your immediate family members, for the most part, they genuinely love you. And it's usually more than anyone else. And they do really want you to be happy. They wouldn't tell you their dislike for your significant other to be spiteful or rude. They do it because they know how special you truly are and what you deserve. And sometimes you do deserve better. And sometimes you may not see your worth. And sometimes you may not see that you do deserve better than what you're getting. I do want to say this. It's always nice to know someone identifies with you when you're in this relationship, or that you can tell them your deepest and darkest secret. But that's not all there is to life. And let's face it, who doesn't appreciate a good cuddle buddy? I didn't say cuddy buddy, y'all. I said cuddle buddy. But that's not an excuse to ignore warning signs. If you really need someone to cuddle with, go buy a pet. I tell my mom all the time. She's like, "Oh, give me a hug." I say, "If you want a hug, you should have bought a dog." Like, that's wrong. I know. But no, seriously, there are more loyal than people are. Hence, the a dog is a man's best friend. The dog's not gonna wake up one day, or a pet's not gonna wake up one day and tell you they no longer want to be with you. There's always something new we can learn on or own about ourselves. And while relationships can be great, they can, it's also a wonderful thing to be able to spend time alone and enjoy being single. And I feel a lot of times that some of y'all gonna be mad at me because I said this right here. But I do believe that love is overrated. I'm not saying it's not a great thing. But when we watch TV shows and unless you're watching Lifetime, but or Tyler Perry's, but if you're watching TV shows, it's not all about, sunflowers, roses, sunlight, beautiful moon and the stars. Like that's not always what love is. Um, it and I think that we have these fairy tale, these Disney movies pictured in our head, and we want this happily ever after. So we're willing to get that at any means necessary, whether that means us being abused, whether that means us being disrespected. We're willing to show the world that we have this happy thing, even when we do not have this happy thing. When you're considering a committed relationship with someone special, take time to figure out exactly what you're getting into. After all, your love is a gift. Don't you want that gift going to someone who truly deserves it? But let's get into these green flags in relationships. I feel like a lot of times we don't talk about green flags, and I've said that before. So for you guys today, I really want to get into these green flags. These will help you to decide if you found someone worth and worthy of your love. So the first green flag I want to give you right now is you can be yourself. This means you don't feel like you're performing or acting in a way that is not authentic to your true self. You also feel like you can be honest and speak your mind without fear of judgment or ridicule. It's important to start from a genuine understanding of one another. Otherwise, you'll be building your relationship upon lies, and that never ends well, trust me. I know. Green flag number 2. You find yourself laughing and smiling a lot. You enjoy being around them. It's really that simple. It really just is. In the early stages of a relationship, feeling good in one another's presence is a green flag. Do you feel joyful? Are you smiling more than you usually do? Are your friends noticing a positive change in your mood? These are all things that you should ask yourself when you get into a relationship. Flag number 3. This is one of my favorites. You feel respected. Boundaries are important in any new relationship. You are still getting to know each other, and you need to take stock of all the green flags before passing go. And I feel a lot of times we don't do that. Feeling respected in this process is crucial. By that I mean that they're not rushing you into anything you're not ready for, whether that be physically or emotionally. There is no pressure whatsoever. You also feel like what you're communicating is being heard. They are taking time to listen and understand your point of view, even if they don't agree. So I want to take it back just a little bit when I said about they're not rushing you physically or emotionally. A lot of times people try to tell you everything about themselves up front. That's not necessarily a red flag. However, sometimes you might want to take it slow. And if they're giving themselves to you 100%, let's say, and they're telling you all of their deepest stuff and you're not ready to disclose your deepest stuff, they're going to feel like you're not really giving or that you're not interested, which may not be the case. You're just taking it slower than they are. So you guys have to be at the same pace. You can't always take everybody with you everywhere that you go or that you've been. And we're going to get into that on another episode because parents like to do that. But this ain't the time or place for that one. Green flag number 4. You want similar things in life. It is a big green flag if you share common values with your significant other, such as kindness, trust, honesty, ambition. Whatever is important to you should be important to them as well. In the early stages, that is. Pay attention to see if you align. Even as you're getting to know each other, you should also talk about what you both want long term. One of the top reasons young couples get divorced is because they don't have shared visions of success. I want to say that again. One of the top reasons young couples get divorced is because they don't have a shared vision of success. It's a conversation you can have very early on. What does success mean to you? And do they agree? Green flag number 5. You feel challenged in a good way. This is about empowerment and teamwork. They believe in you and your dreams and want to help you reach them. They too have a passion or a big dream, and you find yourself challenged by that as well. They want to help you to be a better person, encourage you to follow your dreams, while also being open to your encouragement to becoming a better person themselves. A lot of times, I see that couples push each other when the other person may not want to be pushed, so they feel like you're parenting them. And that may not be your intention, but that's what it turns out. Who wants another mother? Who wants another father? So you have to be very careful. And this goes in with like-mindedness, that you have similar things in common, that you guys value the same things. So if that person doesn't like to be pushed and you're the type of person that does like to be pushed, you're going to notice that they may not be the right person for you, in the sense that they're okay with where they're at and you are a go-getter. Green flag number 6, and this is the last one. You want to make sacrifices, but not too many. Commitment involves sacrifice. It's just a fact. You have to be willing to give up certain things when you commit to someone, which should always be a priority before you really start to fall for them. But you don't have to give up everything, and you shouldn't expect them to either. Independence is crucial in any relationship. It's all about balance and a willingness to compromise. It's scary to initiate a conversation to talk about stuff like this. I do get it. Please believe me. You don't want to look like you have an agenda or that you're trying to push things forward too quickly. But trust me, it's worth it. Communicating your wants and needs early on is always worth it. Knowing what questions to ask a potential significant other will empower you and ultimately help you find the right relationship. Pay attention to all of these flags. I mean the red ones and the green ones. Because they are there for a reason. And I think when you listen to the last podcast with the red flags and you're like, okay, these are red flags. But I promise I did this in this order for a reason. Because you've seen those red flags, you weeded some things out, you may want to change some things about yourself or maybe even them or how you react to them. But when you listen to these green flags now, you're going to realize, like, dang, I'm seeing red flags that I didn't realize were red flags because I don't have these green flags. There's a purpose to my madness, y'all. Now, getting into the song of the week, I give you Riley. Yes, Amber Riley finally released some music, but this song is Temporary. I chose this song specifically because it went perfect with the last two themes. The theme about really finding your one true love, and sometimes it's not there. So she's saying in this song, I don't want your love if it's gonna be temporary. You can miss me with all that. And I felt that this was perfect. But once you listen to these green flags, you realize that the relationship that you're in right now may not be the very one that you're supposed to be in. It's time for you to walk away. Don't take that love if it's going to be temporary, y'all.
I can't hold my tongue, even if I tried. You found me out, now I'm exposed. I've been moving slow, trying to keep control. Seen many come and go. Does it exist? Does love even exist? Does it even feel the way that people say that it feels? Does it even exist? What is this? What is this? I don't even know if what I see is real. Don't want your love if it's temporary. All I've seen in love is temporary. I just don't know. I feel some things on the low. I feel some things I don't show for sure. If your love is temporary, I've been trying to break down my guard.
And that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself on this episode of Create Your Own Story with Terrell Garnett. We'll catch you next time.